Yeah, that's right. It's time for me to hit back straight from a nation that screams freedom. The big beats drop, just like this American. Outside the city limits is where an SUV is defined. I think of the Jeep Grand Cherokee in my Indian state of mind. The shade is black and the size is big, just like the potholes that lay our street. It's here that I think that the ride is comfy, and that's what makes it better than your mum's seat. Bold and sophisticated, just like Drake. Boy, I'm telling you, I thought you'd be at the lake. It'll take you there and also on top of a hill for you to enjoy a view like no one else will. It's a direct injection petrol with a turbo ready to spool, so that you look speedy just as much as cool. What's up, folks? Welcome to Power Drift. I'm sorry about the rap, but I promise I'll get better. In my head, I was killing it, but let me know if you were feeling it. Well, today on our channel, we've got this, a big black American SUV. It's called the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and in this video, I'm going to tell you reasons why you should consider it and reasons why you shouldn't. It's an American badge and it doesn't offer the snob value that a German badge would, but it does have some exclusive bragging rights. This, ladies and gentlemen, is the most awarded SUV of the world. And Jeep, they've sold over 7 million units globally. To keep the efficiency and weight in check, there are two important panels that are made of aluminum: the bonnet and the tailgate. There are ample number of screens in this cabin. The driver benefits from two 10.1-inch screens. The passenger, they get their own 10.25-inch screen. And with the flick of the switch, you get a fourth screen activated. One of the most iconic launches in the automotive history. They drove it up a few steps. They even drove it through a glass windscreen. And it's been outlandish ever since. It's a full-size SUV, period. It's not a compact SUV, it's not a mid-size SUV. It's got the length, it's got the width, it's got the height. It looks brutal, menacing, it's quite macho. It's everything that we like our SUVs to be. It gets an energetic heart. I wouldn't call it race bred, but then it gets direct injection, it gets a turbo with twin scroll. Also, the turbo is mounted directly to the cylinder head, so performance is adequate. If that has been one of your worries, let me assure you, it's nothing to be worried of. I'll talk about it more when I drive it in the later part of the video. Now, it does get a four-wheel drive system, but this is a very smart system. It senses when the front wheels don't need power. When they don't, it switches to rear-wheel drive only, and that is being done to get better efficiency of this, well, big and large SUV. Now, there is no denotion of this on the instrument cluster, but then it does it smartly, it does it automatically, it does it autonomously. The view from behind the wheel is just amazing. Well, what do you have for a view? You have this wide and long bonnet, finished in black, so you do have some really good reflections here, but then it makes you feel as if you're driving something big. Also, the bonnet is set at the exact same level of the dashboard, so you feel as if you're driving something long. The next best thing is a Rolls-Royce. Now, there is plenty that I liked about the Jeep Grand Cherokee, but then there are plenty points that I didn't think are quite appealing as well, and that is to do with its sophistication. Yes, it is a very sophisticated material, but then again, not as sophisticated as the Germans out there, and that is primarily because Jeep, they've decided to leave aside a few kit that they internationally offer. Like, for instance, the rear seat entertainment package, that has been given a miss. Also, air suspension, which I think is quite a crucial, important piece if you take your SUVs off-road, has been given a miss as well. There is no diesel option, which is fine, but then Jeep, they've decided to also skip the hybrid version, the 4xe, and that I think would have set the right tone for the brand for their upcoming launches. The seats, well, you only get 5 at this price point. You would have expected 7, but you only get 5 seats, and the seats themselves, yes, they are big, they are large, they are also supportive, but then they are not luxury plush. So here I am in this big and large American SUV trying to sample it on our roads in our road conditions to gauge if it does make sense. Off the bat, the performance, it is just adequate. Yes, I know Jeep, they offer bigger, larger, more powerful powertrains overseas, but then this is just about right for our road conditions. And I say that because our roads, they're full of surprises, potholes, and they get quite narrow in some parts of the city. So 400 Newton meters of torque is just about right. I also say it is just about right because it's not intimidating, and it could be intimidating given how big this SUV is. It is over 2 meters wide, it is large, it is big, it is colossal. So that amount of power is just right. The ride, it feels really rich, but what I also like is the noise cancellation. So the NVH levels, they are really, no, the outside has been cut off as if it really does not exist. And it gets all the more better when you pump up the music, because these speakers, they have active noise cancellation. And when you do play your favorite music, your favorite jam in here, it feels like you're in a concert. Now, what I also want to talk to you about is the ride quality. It feels confident, be it on-road or be it off-road. It soaks up potholes as if it was built for it. And dynamically, it is very well sorted. The weight distribution is spot on despite it being such a big SUV. And the ground clearance, the center of gravity, everything is very well contained. I like what Jeep has done with this monocoque chassis setup. And that brings me to the next talking point, which is the steering wheel. Yes, it is electronic, but then it is also communicative. They've artificially added that heft, and that keeps you well connected with the driving dynamics of this large SUV. It constantly reminds you that you're driving something big, something large, and that also reminds you to drive it a lot more carefully. Alright folks, thank you so much for your time today. That's all we've got in this video of Power Drift. Now this being the Jeep Grand Cherokee Limited, and we did have limited time with this SUV, but we are hoping to take this on a really long journey, cross-country expedition, because that is exactly what this SUV is built for. So we are hoping that Jeep will lend us this car once again. Now where should we drive it? Shimla, Manali, done and dusted with. Should we explore more destinations? Because this is a Jeep. Well, do let us know in the comments below, and I'll see you in that video. Until next time, bye-bye.